Every day you are draining your energy without even realizing it. Not because you are working too much, but because you say yes too often, think too much, and give too much to things that do not deserve it. You feel exhausted but do not know why. You lose focus, become easily irritated, and slowly begin to lose clarity in your own life. The truth is, your energy is not unlimited. It is leaking away little by little through meaningless conversations, unnecessary expectations, and the negative thoughts inside your own mind. If you have ever wondered why you always feel worn out even when you are not doing anything especially difficult, this is the issue you need to face. And if you want to learn how to protect your peace and regain control of your life, hit like or follow now, because what comes next may change the way you use your energy every single day. In this video, we are going to take a deeper look at how to protect your energy, set boundaries, and live with intention through the philosophy of Stoicism. 1. The nature of energy in life. Energy is not just the physical strength that allows you to work or move. It is also your focus, your level of alertness, your ability to handle emotions, and the sense of peace within your mind. The problem is that many people only realize they are out of energy when their body is already exhausted, while the real depletion starts much earlier, from draining conversations, from constantly replying to messages, and from the habit of overthinking how others perceive them. There are days when you do nothing particularly demanding yet still feel worn out. That is because your mental energy has already been eroded long before your body speaks up. Pay attention, and you will notice this. Some people talk to you for just 10 minutes, yet you feel lighter and clearer afterward. On the other hand, some interactions are very brief, but leave you irritated, drained, and unfocused for the rest of the day. This shows that every interaction is an exchange of energy. It either nourishes you or depletes you. And if you fail to recognize this, you will continue allowing small, seemingly insignificant things to take away the best part of you every day. The way to start is simple from today. After every conversation or important activity, ask yourself one question: did this make me stronger or more drained? Write down 3 things that energized you and 3 things that drained you during the day. Do this consistently, and you will begin to clearly see the flow of energy in your life, and that is the first step to protecting it. 2. The causes of energy drain. Most of your energy is not taken by big tasks, but slowly worn down by small things repeated every day. It is when you agree to help, even though you are already overwhelmed, the habit of constantly checking your phone or spending hours overthinking something someone said. These things are not loud or obvious, but they quietly drain you. And the most dangerous part is that you start to see them as normal. Think about a familiar situation. You receive a work message after hours. You do not reply immediately, but your mind starts racing. You think about how to respond, worry about being judged, and keep checking your phone again and again. Even though you have not taken any real action, your energy is already being consumed. Or when you say okay to a request you do not truly want to accept, you not only lose time but also your sense of ease throughout the entire process. Energy drain usually comes from 2 directions. External expectations, demands, social pressure, and internal fear of judgment, people-pleasing habits, overthinking. If you cannot recognize these sources, you will always feel tired without knowing why. Starting today, try one small action before agreeing to something or responding. Pause for 5 seconds and ask yourself, do I really need to do this? That brief pause alone can help you begin to take back control of your energy. 3. The consequences of not managing your energy. When you fail to manage your energy, the consequences do not appear immediately. They build up over time. At first, it is just a slight sense of fatigue or a bit of distraction, but gradually you become more irritable, find it harder to make decisions, and even simple tasks start to feel heavy. The dangerous part is that you do not recognize the cause, so you continue living the same way, and the cycle of exhaustion keeps repeating. Imagine waking up one day already feeling tired, not because you lacked sleep, but because your mind has never truly rested. You check your phone, read messages, think about work, and recall unfinished tasks. Before your day even begins, a large portion of your energy is already gone. When you start working, you are easily distracted, reacting emotionally instead of thinking clearly. And by the end of the day, you find yourself asking, why didn't I get anything done effectively? That is the result of scattered energy. When your energy is depleted, clarity disappears with it. You are no longer in control of your life. You are simply reacting to whatever happens. If you do not want to keep living in this state, start making changes today. Spend 10 minutes each evening reflecting on your day, what drained your energy and what made you feel better. Write it down, observe, and gradually adjust. And if you are truly serious about breaking out of this cycle of exhaustion, follow the channel now. The upcoming content will help you build a system to protect your energy, set boundaries, and regain control of your life. 4. The role of personal boundaries. Personal boundaries are not what make you cold or distant. They are how you consciously protect your energy. When you do not have clear boundaries, others will unintentionally intrude on your time, attention, and emotions. Not because they are bad people, but because you have never shown them where your limits are. Think of a familiar situation. You are focused on your work when a non-urgent call or message appears. If you respond immediately, you do not just lose a few minutes, you lose your entire state of focus. And it takes a significant amount of energy to get back into that state. On the other hand, if you set clear boundaries, such as only checking messages at specific times, you are actively protecting your concentration. Boundaries are also reflected in how you say no. You do not need long explanations, and you do not need to feel guilty. A simple sentence like "I can't take this on right now" is enough. Each time you do that, you are affirming the value of your time and energy. Start with one small step. Choose a period of time in your day when you will not be disturbed. No phone, no social media, no immediate responses. Practice this daily, and you will begin to notice a clear difference in your energy levels and focus. 5. Solutions and practical ways to restore energy. Once you have identified where your energy is being drained and have set clear boundaries, the next step is to learn how to restore and recharge your energy intentionally. Many people think rest simply means sleeping or entertaining themselves. But if your mind is still occupied by worries and constant thoughts, that is not true recovery. Notice this: you can spend hours scrolling through social media and still feel exhausted afterward. Yet just 10-15 minutes of sitting quietly without your phone, without stimulation, can leave your mind feeling lighter. The difference lies in whether you truly allow yourself to pause. Simple but effective practices include writing down the thoughts that are occupying your mind to release mental pressure, setting aside quiet time each day, or taking a walk without listening to anything so your mind can rest. These are not big actions, but if done consistently, they help you regain clarity and balance. Start with one very small habit. Spend at least 10 minutes each day without any devices. Just sit still, observe your thoughts, or focus on your breathing. When you do this regularly, you will notice that your energy is not only preserved, but also naturally restored. 6. The core principle of Stoicism. At the heart of everything, it is not about doing more or less. It is about whether you are in control of yourself. Stoicism emphasizes a very clear principle. You cannot control what happens externally, but you can always control how you respond. And it is that response that determines whether you preserve your energy or lose it. Think of a simple situation. Someone says something that bothers you. If you carry it in your mind all day, replaying it over and over, you are draining your own energy. But if you recognize that it is just an external event, something outside your control, and choose to let it go, you preserve your inner peace. The problem is not that the world makes you tired, it is how you take it in. When you react unconsciously, you hand control over to circumstances. When you respond consciously, you keep that control for yourself. Start with one small action. The next time something irritates, you do not react immediately. Pause for a few seconds and ask yourself, do I really need to hold on to this? That simple pause is the beginning of taking ownership of your energy and yourself. Finally, everything you have just heard is not just about feeling less tired. It is a completely different way of looking at life. When you start to see your energy as your most valuable asset, you stop living on autopilot. You no longer react to everything that happens, no longer try to please everyone, and no longer allow negative thoughts to take over your mind. You begin to choosing what deserves your attention, where to place your emotions, and how you want to live each day. That is the difference between someone who is carried by life and someone who truly takes control of it. Not because they have more time or less pressure, but because they know how to preserve what matters most: energy and clarity. When you have clarity, you make better decisions. When you have energy, you take stronger action. And when you have both, you do not just exist, you truly begin to live. But remember, no change happens just because you understand. It only happens when you act. Not tomorrow, not when you feel more ready, but right after you finish this. Start with one small step. Say no to something unnecessary, spend 10 minutes on yourself, or simply pause before reacting. A small action repeated daily can completely transform the way you live. If you truly want to build a life with control, peace, and clear direction, do not stop here. Follow now, because the next content will guide you step by step to build discipline, set boundaries, and take ownership of yourself in the most practical way. You do not need more time. You do not need more motivation. You just need to start controlling what you already have, your own energy. And the moment you do that, your life will begin to change. Starting today,